3 years and 11 months, my hide-and-seek multiplayer game with cute chameleons is still not complete, but there's a serious reason why the release date got pushed back. Number 1, I had to create 50 plus super fun minigames that the players have to pass successfully to camouflage. And as a game developer releasing your game, the timing is something that really matters. I didn't really want to release my game in the winter, so I thought during the spring would be much better. Let's not make this video too technical, let's move on to the importance of minigames. So, what's the significance of minigames? This is a way to show off more of my art skills, but also more importantly, to show a way to make We Hidden more challenging without making any changes to the core mechanics, and confusing or losing the fun factor. Well, how does it work? It's actually very simple. Each game may seem complicated at first glance, but they're all based on these. So some minigames have a drag and drop, some need a rotation, some are holding down a button, some push a button multiple times, some there's matchmaking and or puzzle piecing together, and there's some minigames that are based on slider values. Let's check out this red picture minigame for an example. In this minigame, you need to find the correct picture that will keep the chameleon safe and undirty. So you have 3 here and you need to make it to the last one. The first one gets you a little dirty, second one gets you a little scratchy, and the third one is just right. Now this minigame is more based on pushing a button once and then waiting. But there's something very interesting about this one. As you're waiting, you notice that the chameleon goes up and down. Now I want to make this very clear for people to understand. There is actually no animation being played to make the chameleon go up and down. I'm using something called tweening. Now tweening is basically a term for in between. So think of an animation that needs to get from point A to point B. But it's a really efficient way to use animation because it stops me from dirtying the canvas and having 1,000 different animation clips. So whenever I need an object to move from point A to point B, I just need to plug in the start position and the end position and then how long it takes to get from that position. From there, I can determine what kind of animation I want to play. It could be linear, ping pong, and that gives it a little bit of animation flair to give the object a little bit more movement. Another fun little thing I discovered was that I was able to give UI images fake gravity. In the green custard apple minigame, I was able to add a 2D rigid body to the image, but what happens once it falls off the screen? So what I did was I made a 2D box collider and it sort of works to add as a floor. Now the custard apples land safely on the ground instead of off the screen. Now with all these mini games being unique and taking different amounts of time, how would this affect the seeker coming to tag you? Well, that depends on the player, you see. The goal is to be super fast so the seeker doesn't get to you. The good thing about passing these mini games is that you gain points in quick hiding. Once you pass the mini games 3 times, you can hide anywhere that matches your color. Quick hiding will save you in a pinch, especially when you know that the hider is close by. Here's a quick little tip for you guys when you're playing We Hidden. When you're playing online with others, you will be able to tell other players when the seeker is nearby with the walkie-talkie button. I have a feeling online matches will definitely get out of hand with voice chat, but speaking of getting out of hand, the environment has definitely grown out of control. I know I brought this up again and again, but sorry to break it to you guys, I'm doing this one last time. Trees. I probably changed the trees in this game about 3 times now, but I promise you I'm sticking with this design. This design is much more slim and chunky, but fun, but it also fits the tropical design. I mean, the first map is called Tropic Fungi. I also decided to add some really unique mushrooms at the top of the cliffs of the game. So where the walls are, you'll notice there are a few different colorful mushrooms. I thought it was a nice touch. Something else that slightly changed in the environment was the location of each hiding spot, which is mostly dedicated to a room, but that makes the game too easy for the seeker to find you because it'll just directly go to the colored room. So what I did to counter this problem was, let's use the yellow room as an example. If we zoom out so you can see the entire map, you'll notice that the yellow room is at the bottom left corner, the first column. So we'll notice that some yellow hiding spots are also in the orange and also in the red. Now I did that so that way the yellow player has somewhere to hide and just won't get stuck running around the map aimlessly. I also did that for other hiding spots as well, so that makes this game much more fun to play. The last and final big change that I made to the game was that I finally finished all localization for the game. Now, it took a really long time to translate all these different words. I didn't necessarily go through a translator, but I did end up finding a really good translator for a subscription fee. So now We Hidden officially supports 7 different languages. I'm not trying to be overly ambitious, but I want people from all around the world to enjoy the game, and they can't enjoy the game if they don't understand it. Now that I've summed up all the major changes, let's talk about what's happening next. So I am in the final chapter of releasing my first commercial indie game, and that raises a lot of questions. So when is the actual release date coming? There's no need to wait any longer. It will be between March and April. That gives me around 60-ish days left to complete everything. And I also wanted to mention that a brand new animated trailer is being developed for We Hidden, so you have something to look forward to. I have so much more great content to show you guys, so I hope you stick around for the future videos. And I'll see you next time.